So the company continues to generate very significant cash flows, fully funded to complete the project, as Graham will talk about. So we kind of just above half capex spent with $137 million on the balance sheet. We have more than enough capital to complete another 70 million in capex or so.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by ACG Metals Chairman and CEO Artem Volynets, as well as Vice President of Projects Graham Rapley. Graham, very good to speak with you. Artem, I'll start off with you. You had a solid third quarter with production and costs both tracking within guidance. What were the key factors behind maintaining such strong operational performance through the period?
Thank you, Stephen. Good to be back here. Essentially, as you may have seen in our Q3 results, this is a stable, steady quarter. No major news, progression on time and on budget for the project, which Graham will talk about. A relatively small year, as expected, given the seasonalities in our production profile for the third quarter. But importantly, we are very much on track to meet the full year guidance of 36 to 38,000 ounces of gold equivalent. Costs are more or less on track as well. So with a year-to-date costs of $131, this is per ounce of gold. It's certainly much below the current gold pricing levels. So the company continues to generate very significant cash flows, fully funded to complete the project, as Graham will talk about. So we kind of just above half capex spent with $137 million on the balance sheet. We have more than enough capital to complete another 70 million in capex or so. So on budget, on track, steady production. Importantly, also no LTIs, health and safety, all in line. No accidents of any sort since production started at this Gediktepe mine, which is usually a good indication of good operational practices.
Graham, as Artem said, the Gediktepe copper sulfide expansion project seems to be progressing well. Major milestones achieved in the third quarter. Could you walk us through the current stage of construction and what's next on the schedule as the project targets first production by the end of the first half of 2026?
Yes, Stephen. As Artem said, we're progressing very well. We're progressing on schedule and well within our budget to achieve our goal of starting commercial production halfway through next year. Currently, we're working on all of the foundations, which is the jaw crusher through to the fine ore bin, through to the mills, which is the ball mill and the SAG mill, through to the flotation areas, thickeners, and then finally to the filter press room and the shed. We have got our foundations and steel work up for our primary crusher. We've got steel work up on our transfer tower. We have 800 cubic meters of concrete left to pour on the fine ore bin and the pebble crusher area. Moving through to the jaw crusher, we've completed our soil replacement work on the jaw crushers, on the mill and the SAG mill work, and we'll be starting the foundation work early next week in that area. We've also completed all of the excavation work in the flotation area with our lean concrete already poured, and again, foundation work will start on that next week. Through to the thickener, excavation work is progressing on that, and then the filtration shed itself, which is our filter presses, which reduces the water content in the ore, both the copper and the zinc ore. We have completed all the foundations on that building already. We had a 850 cubic meter pour last Friday night, which completed on time, which was really great to see. Our major milestone that we've got left this year is bringing our electrical contractor on site. Within the next 3 weeks, he'll be on site and establishing himself ready to start doing all of the electrical work for the project. And our major milestones next year is taking delivery of our mills, which is the ball mill and the SAG mill. I visited the manufacturer of the SAG mills on Friday, and they're progressing very well. They're on schedule with delivering in December of this year, transporting into site very early in January and sitting on the mills by the end of January, early February of next year. We have got a lot of equipment on site at the moment. We've got our jaw crusher, pebble crusher, and other items on site. We've received just on 2,000 tonne of the 7,000 tonne of steel that we'll be putting up. But next year is going to be, for the first 2 months, is going to be really exciting with taking delivery of virtually all of our long lead items and equipment that we ordered very early on in the project. So we'll be, as I said, we'll be taking delivery of those very early next week, and as they come, we'll be putting them on foundations. Again, another major event that will be taking place very early next year is our pipe work, which is one of the most essential things apart from electrical, etc. We'll be getting into that probably within the middle of February. And our SMP contractor, which is our steel, mechanical and piping contractor, is already established on site. We brought them in also as a civil contractor. That is really great. We are building up slowly to our peak of manpower, which will be in January, which will be roughly 500 people on site. That's just a quick overview of where we're going to be by the end of this year and where we'll be in midterm next year, and we'll be achieving our commercial production on time.
Artem, looking ahead to the rest of 2025, what are the company's top priorities, both for progressing the sulphide expansion and also for maintaining production and cost guidance across your operations?
So Graham has already explained a lot of effort that is going into the sulphide project. We continue to progress on time and on budget to reach full commercial production by the end of the first half of the next year. On our production of gold and silver, we expect a good quarter, seasonally adjusted. Typically, the fourth quarter has more production than a second and a third quarter. So we are working to get to meet our guidance of 38,000 to 36,000 ounces and maintain our costs, which we have done so far quite well. As you may have seen in our Q3 release, the year-to-date C1 cost decreased by 30% in a year-to-date to $432 per ounce of gold equivalent, and this is good. And then the final bit that we expect to announce to the markets is our technical solution to process so-called enriched ore, and a successful technical solution could add significant additional gold ounces in the next several years to the production of copper concentrate and zinc concentrate. And if we can process enriched ore in parallel, that is going to be a significant upside from where we are today.
Well, Artem, Graham, I hope you'll continue to keep us updated with your progress. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's ACG Metals Chairman and CEO Artem Volynets, as well as Vice President of Projects Graham Rapley.